Thou didst divide the sand by thy strength. Thou breakest the heads of the dragons in the desert. Yea, I behold thee as a beast coming up from the dunes. Thou hast the two horns of the lamb, but thou speakest as the dragon. Revised Orange Catholic Bible, Aran, chapter 2, verse 4. Welcome back to Dune Saga, everyone. This is season 3 of our Dune campaign here on the Stolen Fires channel. I am Eric at Modern Recluse Online, your game master for this epic multi-arc adventure series, which continues tonight with our 5th storyline, Leviathan. Very special welcome and salutation to new and old viewers alike to the Stolen Fires channel here on Twitch, where there's always a Let's Play or an RPG live play to look forward to. Check the Stolen Fires Discord listings for updates. As a content warning, this program features adult situations and language and may not be suitable for all ages, so listening discretion is advised. Special music shoutouts go to Pixabay, Infraction, Repulsive Sound, The Whole Other, Tabletop Audio, and Bleer Moon for the use of their excellent music. You can find more awesome ambient sounds and tunes over at inaudio.org, secretpress.bandcamp.com, music.youtube.com, pixabay.com, and SoundCloud. Many thanks to Modifius Entertainment for making awesome games for us to play. We also want to thank Roll20 for the use of their virtual tabletop platform, perfect for hosting games like Dune Adventures in the Imperium. As always, we want to give a big thanks to our viewers and fans for tuning in. Let's welcome our house entourage, who is here and ready to engage in the deadliest of intrigues. Agents of the Imperium, remind our audience who you are, where they can find you online, and who you will be playing this evening. Beginning with Aaron.
Hello everyone, I am Aaron. My pronouns are anything except he, him. You can find me pretty much everywhere as Great Cthulhu in some form. Tonight I will be playing Eloise Cheshire, agent of the guild and failed navigator.
Leo.
I believe in you, Eloise.
Hello, my name is Leo, and you can find me at Leo the Black, where I do stuff. I play video games, and yeah. Anyways, I'll be today I'll be playing Archibald. Scheming Archibald.
Devin.
Hello one, hello all. I am Devin. You can find me online at Sorta Sullied. And tonight I am playing Mother Norma, the totally innocent, has no schemes in any shape or form. Reverend Mother, the innocent one.
One of those cannot be true.
It's all true. I don't lie.
Hypocrite.
Key.
Hello, I'm Kisama. You can find me on Twitter at TrueKisama, and tonight I am Pardo Reed, House Mentat.
Excellent. Ambrose.
Hey everybody, I'm Ambrose. My pronouns are he or they. You can find me all over the internet as Am Changeling. You can find me on Etsy at Thornkind, and you can find me right here, right now, playing Zoshir Tamer, whose pronouns are he, him.
And last but not least, of course, Rachel.
Hello, I'm very happy to be here. My name is Rachel. You can find me, Stolen Fires, pretty much everywhere on the internet, including here, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. I've got a Discord, if you want to come hang out, chat with like-minded nerds. And tonight, I am playing Lady Daphne, the head of House Cheshire, who is trying to figure out the best thing to do.
Excellent. And now for a short recap, if you would do the honors, Ambrose.
House Cheshire is now a major house and has become ardently protective in addition to their other traits. Thanks in part to Archibald, founder of minor client House Librius, House Cheshire develops their strategic capabilities. The news story opens with a letter. It's wistful, perhaps even mournful. The writer is isolated, but at least Pranabindu helps with the loneliness, but not the pain. Billions are dead, entire cities razed. But some parts of Jabberwock live on, and our enemies will soon know this pain as well. It's night on Arrakis. Daphne alone, flees from a wolf. It catches her, begins savaging her, but then a rifle cracks, and Daphne struggles to see the figure in the distance holding a mallet rifle. Just as the sand opens up, and she falls into a sandworm's maw. And then she awakens. It's been 6 months since the attack on Jabberwock. Daphne's on Arrakis against Dr. Sloane's orders, still recovering from her trauma. But she has duties. Fortunately, House Cheshire enjoys certain privileges granted us by Casimir Fenrig, a royal envoy and close confidant of the Padisha Emperor. Do we truly have the Emperor's favor, or is it Casimir keeping an eye on us? Rumor says the Emperor may be seeking to replace the Harkonnens on Arrakis. The morning after the nightmare, Omelas delivers the weekly report. Lysander is recovering. Pardo keeps to himself. The Cicelrod tried and convicted Alicia of Adelaide's murder, and she would face execution soon if not for the investigation into the use of atomics. Daphne ponders while Omelas visits Pardo Reed and his new pet, the jungle cat Schrodinger. Omelas has an important topic to discuss: the Hexagon, the secret circle of information sharing mentats. They don't just invite anyone, but Pardo is special after breaking his Tlilax 2 conditioning. Even though Pardo claims to have forgotten how he did it, he's still wanted by the Hexagon. Pardo promises to consider membership in the secret society counterpart to the Bene Gesserit. As Pardo makes his way to the meeting room for the staff meeting, he sees Massum discussing an issue of ornithopter production. He speaks and carries himself as an adult. Despite that, he will not be permitted in the meeting room. Meanwhile, Norma visits Lady Margot Fenring at her lavish and lush palace at Arakeen. They speak openly of superficial matters, but communicate using Bene Gesserit hand signs. Some of the schismatics from Wallach may have fled here, becoming Sayadinas for the Fremen. They must be found. At the same time, Archibald Librius and his new wife, Yeva Librius, Nee Schumann, meet with Ronas and Warakeen, leaders of the White Rabbits. Archibald currently commands House Drunenbar's remaining troops, who now fly Cheshire banners. Between those troops and what the House already had, we have enough military might to make the House an equal of few save Carino itself. The meeting is interrupted by a Tlilaxu dwarf. Yeva mistrusts the newcomer, though Archibald meets with him privately. He introduces himself as Ajib and offers an array of gifts, including eternal life. Archibald hands over a vial containing a single strand of hair. And then Eloise Cheshire. The guild navigator takes her prescribed dose of melange with her morning coffee as she observes the planet Junction from Highliner orbit. She's here to meet a third-stage steersman. Adrico, whose appearance is more alien than human, greets Eloise with a rather heavy-handed warning. Multiple Nexus events swirl around House Cheshire on Arrakis, and Eloise is sent as a guild representative to investigate. Eloise is unhappy to be sent home, but accepts her orders along with Hina, the manager. On the trip over, Eloise asks Hina which Cheshires are on Arrakis. Hina only knows of Lady Daphne, but little of her entourage. Hina could care less about Eloise's family issues. She just wants to look good to the adjusters on Junction. Lastly, Zoshir Tamer. He's here to hand over the annual spice bribe to the guild, the one which ensures satellites remain silent on Arrakis. It's an emperor's ransom, but the handover is disrupted. The spice is stolen, and Fremen and Guild alike lay dead in the sand. Zoshir leads a handful of his warriors to one of the functional ornithopters. They survive, but at what cost? The sietch will reclaim their water for loss of the spice bribe, and the Harkonnen will know where and how the Fremen move through the sands. Zoshir and his Fremen investigate the site. They weren't attacked by Harkonnen nor other Fremen. The badge, bearing the image of a cat, is unfamiliar to him. No, wait, it's of another house, possibly Harkonnen allies. House Cheshire. They owe Sietch Agaharg a water price. He reports this to the Naib, who is also Sairina. She declares the dead are the lucky ones and charges Zoshir with solving the situation. While swearing the blood oath with a crysknife, she further reveals that the time of the Mahdi is at hand. As far as she's concerned, House Cheshire is just another oppressor. Back to Arakeen and the staff meeting. Eloise has never been here, but there's enough of House Cheshire here to remind her of her youth. She catches sight of Daphne and follows at a polite distance. But Norma greets the woman, and Daphne recognizes her long-lost aunt. The encounter is a bit awkward as Daphne tries to make a few overtures, which Eloise rejects. Daphne does try to leave the door open a crack. During the meeting, Omelas tries to resign, but Daphne is angry at the suggestion and refuses. Instead, he's sent to Jabberwock to join Archibald's house. Next, however, is Raban's invitation to the houses of Arrakis. Omelas has no idea what Raban might want, but suspects it deals with the disaster that has been Harkonnen spice mining. Something is brewing, and the Harkonnen seem desperate for help. Nevertheless, Daphne insists on a full retinue. During this exchange, Norma notices someone peek into the room, then make themselves scarce when they realize a meeting is going on. Norma excuses herself to follow. It's Dr. Wellington Yue. He accepts what Norma told him earlier. His beloved wife is dead. But the Harkonnens still have her remains. Might Norma be able to procure those so Dr. Yue might give her a proper burial? Norma agrees. Juana was a sister, after all. Daphne assembles her entourage to Carthag. Pardo Reed is obviously coming, along with Norma. Meanwhile, Eloise orders her companion to shadow Daphne and determine if her niece can be trusted. Back on Jabberwock, after Archibald's meeting with the Tleilaxu, the others file back into the room. Yeva demands to know the content of the meeting, but Archibald doesn't know if he can trust her. Their marriage, after all, is political. They come to a certain accord. As Yeva mentions a message has come from Gedai Prime, he allows Yeva to read it to him. It's a specific summons for him to meet at the capital and perhaps form an alliance with the Harkonnens.
All right, thank you for reading that recap, Ambrose, and thanks as always to Rachel for the excellent notes that you take. Now we may continue with Leviathan. All right. Eloise, I need you to make me a discipline 4 test.
Allow me to get into Roll20, the thing I forgot to do.
I think this is a record. We're not even 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
I might have forgotten to do that too.
I just want to know I was a good cookie and I had it open. Teacher's pet over here.
I have to have it
Alright,
open
well
to
done.
pipe the music.
I guess Archibald's new house should have a brown nose for a sigil.
Oh.
All right.
Oh.
You said
Go on.
you said discipline, Eric.
Yeah, this is concerning, of course, the spice trance.
I see. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna assume that's probably duty for me as far as drives are concerned.
Sure, you're here
Okay.
on orders from the guild. That makes sense.
Okay.
And if you wanted additional dice to roll besides your standard 2, you can pay me threat, of which I am at full flush right now with 12. But feel free to give me any more if you want.
It's tempting,
This is
but
the second session. How do you have 12 threat?
Agreed.
I
How
start.
did that?
I
what?
start every session with 2 threat per player because you are a major house now.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
In
No.
other words, we don't need Key to make more threat for us this season.
Oh, but he's still gonna.
I know.
don't worry, Key. I'll help.
I'll
I
help
I will decline the generous offer of threat for now.
Of course.
I will not be. So I do have a self-control focus. I don't think that applies though, does it?
No, this is something
Okay.
you can't control.
Got
You
it.
can try.
Holy, all right.
Not bad. 2 successes thus far. Were you wanting to spend determination points for this or no?
I. So I know what happens every time I spend determination. Good old failed navigator gives me visions.
Mm-hmm.
I do have 2 though. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll spend a determination.
All right, so you met the threshold of 4. Once you've arrived on Arrakis, you try to situate yourself in a quiet place within the residential palace on Arakeen to try to focus your sight as much as you can. But you see firsthand what it is that the Adrico was talking about when he spoke of nexuses on Arrakis. Normally, you can get a glimpse of things. You can sort of get a sense of something that's going to happen in a particular location, and you can sort of parse the information out. Now that you're here on Arrakis, now that you're infusing the unrefined spice, the spice trance puts you in this right in the middle, the crux of this nexus, of multiple nexuses around you. And the form that it takes is sort of like a waking vision of just way too much information at once. You perceive a massive battle ensuing in Arakeen proper, just outside the palace. 3 different houses, one of which, for certain, is House Cheshire. You also perceive a Mira being brought before a magistrate of some sort, in chains. Her fate being decided for the assassination of an important noble. Another perceived scene is of the Cheshires themselves gathered for a massive funeral. You can't tell, though, if it's happening on Jabberwock or some other world, but it's definitely not Arrakis. There's an Imperial blockade around the desert planet. Hundreds of guild ships are here, keeping anything from going in or going out. A guild hayliner crashes into a planet after folding space, killing all life. A large gathering of people inside of a large throne room with someone who is not Shaddam IV sitting on the Imperial throne. Throngs of the people there are members of the guild, some of whom are in flux, like the rest of your vision. There's a coronation taking place this day of a new emperor. Or is it a new empress? Thousands of people are stranded on a wasteland planet that is not Arrakis. Their uniforms and their clothes are torn, and they appear malnourished and dehydrated. Guild containers of food and water drop from on high, and many of these people scramble over one another to get at them. Too much information, all too much at once. You struggle to understand what it is that you're seeing. Go ahead and roll me an understand roll. Same threshold. Now that you've gained a glimpse of these visions, now your mind tries to make sense of what you're seeing. And of course, the previous offers apply. If you wanted to get some additional dice to roll, or if you wanted to use that determination point.
All right, I'll take some threat, I think.
Excellent. How much would you like?
What's 2 dice worth is 3 threat? Yeah?
Correct.
I'll take 3 threat. I'm sorry,
right.
everyone.
Up to 15. All right. So you now have 2 dice. You have 4 dice you can roll. Go ahead and see if you can get those 4 successes for understand.
Ooh, understand. I'm gonna assume duty again still.
Sure. Or truth if it's higher.
Truth is not higher. It is my second lowest. I'm sure that doesn't mean anything.
Priorities.
Oh, close, but no banana.
3 successes. So close. Do you want to spend that last determination point?
Have no focus in it.
I have self-control.
Presence.
Oh wait,
yeah.
actually, I do have data analysis for understand.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yes.
Did any of those fall underneath that focus?
Looks like 2 of them.
Yes, 2 of them did.
Oh, then you have 1 momentum, I think, then, because you exceeded it. All right.
Thank you, Devin.
My pleasure. Save us from more threat.
1 momentum, then you're on. Excellent.
Jeez.
Okay, you barely managed to piece some of this together as you sort of take it strand by strand and just try to like make sense of it. With the first one, with this massive battle that's taking place, the Harkonnens and House Atreides are fighting, and House Cheshire forces are in the middle of what appears to be a massive battle for Arrakeen and the residential palace. The second vision, that of Amira, she, along with others from House Cheshire, are stranded on some planet together where you are not present. The third, where this massive funeral is taking place. Inside the palace, Massum is dead from the work of an assassin. The third, regarding the Imperial blockade. All the houses of the Landsraad have arrived on Arrakis and bombarded with atomics, rendering it lifeless. With the third, the Guild Hayliner crashing. You don't know a whole lot about this particular vision, but you know from the feelings that you're getting and from the little flashes of insight that you and Amira were on board that crashed vessel, and that you feel responsible for its destruction. A large gathering for the coronation. As it happens, an assassination attempt is carried out against the regent, throwing the entire coronation event into chaos. And last, you see among the ones that are stranded on this wasteland of a planet, could it be Salusa Secundus, the prison planet of the Emperor, the training planet of the Sardaukar? Or is it Tupile, the planet or planets where defeated houses go? Regardless, you are not there. But those who are left of House Cheshire and Amira is among the stranded there, alone. Your vision ends, and you are left with a uncharacteristic sense of dread about what is occurring on this planet and where you fit into all of it. How does Eloise respond, or how does she react to this after she wakes up in a sweat with all these visions that infuse her mind?
I think she sits up and probably wipes a little blood away from her nose.
Amira stirs in the corner. Are you all right?
No. Things are bad here.
It's this place. This planet. It's a curse. I knew it was a mistake to come here.
It's not like we had a choice.
There's always a choice, she says. You know what she's getting at. One of her dreams is for both of you to just shun the guild and find a way to escape all of this. But you both know in this Imperium, such as it is, the way that it is structured, it would be nearly impossible for something like that to occur.
I fear it's a little too late to run away on a dream right now. My visions were all terrible. That's a first for me. Every last one of them was bad. And they all involve us. Sometimes I'm there. You were there in most of them, along with the rest of the rest of House Cheshire.
I hesitate to ask in what state we were in such visions.
She'll look at her, and there's clearly a moment on her face where it's like she's deciding whether or not to tell the truth here.
The truth, that thing that you're so bad at.
None of them were good, I'll say that. One, we died together on a crashing. Doesn't matter. These aren't guarantees. They're just potentialities.
I certainly hope you're right. Can I get you something to drink that'll calm your nerves?
Please. That would be lovely.
She lets herself out and she goes to seek like a handmaiden or somebody who can bring, she goes to fetch you a cup of water or something just to kind of like ease yourself. And you kind of like, your hands are shaking a little bit as you like sit back down and try to catch your breath after everything that happened. You try to think on what it is that you saw. But even with what you were able to burn into your memory, there was still so much information that was lost. It just slipped through your fingers. There's only so much information that you can analyze. And you're not a mentat. And in order to parse that sort of information, a mentat is exactly what you need.
Real quick, how long has Pardo Reed been with the house? Do I know Pardo?
You probably don't know him, because he was mostly Omelas because he served Federico and your sisters and such. Like he's been along for many generations, but some of the new blood you do not know.
Okay.
Let's see. Zoshir. You and one Fremen that went with you, or was assigned with you, Purdy, to go investigate Ericking, is with you however you want to travel to the city to investigate what happened to the spice bribe that went missing. Do you travel using the ornithopter that you procured from the dead Fremen that belonged to the negotiation tribe? Or do you ride the worm?
Is there a lot of air traffic today?
It depends on what time in the day you travel, mostly. There's less travel at night. But then again, the Fremen usually do travel at night by worm normally.
One ticket on a worm during the night, please.
Okay. So you stow the Ornithopter in at Hagaharg, sietch. You both summon a worm. You and a small troop of other Fremen summon a big one, and you manage to take a 10-thumper ride from Hagaharg to the northern side of the planet, where the Imperial Basin is located. And around this place is where the two main cities on DUNE are located: Carthag and Erechim. Carthag is a Harkonnen creation. Most Fremen are not found there very often. Erechim, however, is a little bit different. It's a little bit more open and a lot less oppressive. But you travel there with these Fremen, and you know that there are different ways that you can approach. Most of these cities are not sitting on the sand, of course, so they're situated on a large rocky mesa of some sort, usually, that keep it protected from worm attacks. So when you travel there, you eventually have to make your way onto the rocks and up into the basin itself. When you do so, you kind of crouch there at the top of this bluff at night with the crisp cold air swirling around you. Hurdy hands you the oil lens binoculars and points out to the far side of the basin on the other side of the city. There's nothing there. There are no lights indicating that there's anybody in those hills, but using the oil lens binoculars at night, and you being keen-eyed Fremen scouts that you are, you know that there is another sietch just there, beyond along the shield wall that protects both cities from any Coriolis storms that would usually permeate the area. She says, if we're going to get assistance in finding these thieves, we may need to knock on the door at the sietch at let me get the name more for you. Simpo Pions. Put the name of that in the Discord so you can see what I'm talking about. Give me a discipline or understand roll, whichever is your best. And if you have observe as a focus, you can use it for this test.
The character sheet.
And she will be assisting you. So she will roll 1 die, while the others act as bodyguards to you two. Keep an eye out for any hostiles.
And that was understand, you said?
Correct. Hurdy has observation as a focus, and she will be putting this under duty for now.
I'm an adult. Anyway, yeah, I think I will also do duty. My focus doesn't apply. It's desert navigation.
No. So you have observation, perhaps, but not this time. But she does give you a success with her roll.
1 success.
18. Not a complication as a, but you did get 1 success for a total of 2. So it's at night. It's a little bit harder to see, but you do manage to meet the threshold. And the both of you, in addition to her being able to spot where along the shield wall, Signpost butcher this name, Simpo Pions is located. You also managed to pull her attention down into the basin itself. A thopter crash occurred here recently, and then the wreckage is still there. It's the same military ornithopters that you faced back in the bluff. You pull her attention to the crashed vessel. And she nods silently in agreement. She lets you take point. If you're going to make your way to Saipo Pines, perhaps it might be worth your while to investigate this crash site.
Definitely.
You and the other Fremen approach cautiously, and from a distance you keep watch. Not something too dissimilar from the previous crash. Same kind of ornithopters, same uniforms that were found on the personnel that were guiding it. Or same symbols rather on the chassis of the thopter itself, especially once you started to get inside the inner workings of the device, of the vehicle. This one also belongs to House Cheshire, it seems. But it looks like whatever had crashed here recently, since you waited to leave at night, the local security forces have already acquired what was here. Which means someone is already aware of what happened. And these thieves may have come this way. How would you like to approach this issue of finding House Cheshire and potentially finding your spice bribe in the city of Arakeen, potentially? Do you seek out aid with the other Fremen who are more native to this area?
Absolutely. I am unfamiliar with the cities.
Sure,
So
that's fine.
someone who knows more than I do would be greatly appreciated.
That makes sense. You walk carefully, quietly. You pick your way through the rocks in the evening until eventually you arrive on one side of the shield wall bluff. It takes the majority of the evening to travel, but you make your way there successfully. You catch a couple of the. You find that this particular sietch has a cover to it. The doorway leading inside is sealed, but you are able to access it. And you find the seams sewn into the rock. Herdy's a little bit nervous about gaining entry and asking them for help, but she lets you take the lead. You make your way inside after you communicate with the guards to let you in. And they see that you two are Fremen and you hail from a different sietch. Judging by the color of the scarves that you wear around your neck, different from theirs, it identifies you as a different tribe. Your tribe of Hagaharg is known among the Fremen community. Unfortunately, however, it is disliked in its popularity. But your renown as expert crysknife fighters is known throughout all of them. So they allow you inside, and they grab some of the glow globes that are nearby, and they shake them like this, and the insects that are inside begin to glow. They settle them back down. They lead you further into the sietch. You are guests here now. Eventually, they bring out their naib, who they rouse from his slumber. An older man by the name of Jaweed. He comes out, along with a pair of his bodyguards, and he addresses the majority of you as you enter. What is the meaning of this disturbance? Why have you come here?
We are seeking information on a House Cheshire.
What do you want with those Outframe?
It seems that they disrupted the bribe.
He and the others around him look at each other for a second, and then look back at you. And he motions for everybody else to leave the room. Standing there is Jawen and some of his other more personal guard. The spice bribe to the guild.
Yes.
So it's true. And you were involved in this?
Unfortunately.
This one guy looks maybe in his 30s, He's got scars across his face. He steps forward. He has his hand on his cryst knife. It's because of you that the guild will now be encroaching on all of us. We've heard the news through Distrands. All the tribes on this side of the planet are on edge. And he's like, and you dare come here to ask for aid? And Hurdy kind of's like, please, we need all the help we can get. We have to make this right before it's too late, before the guild act on this, and the Harkonnens can hunt us down as they wish. You see Jawid is like, holds up his hand, and he's like, I will agree to aid Hagaharg. We will discuss the reasoning for this later, but what is it that you require to retrieve the Spice Bride back?
I'm unfamiliar with the city.
And, we can assist you with that. We have contacts within the city. They can get you information, dates, like personnel, information about individuals pertaining to this House Cheshire. And we can proceed as necessary. You see the one guy with the scars. You can't be serious. They owe a water debt, and they must pay for it first. He pulls his cryst knife. Jawid is like, wait, Mafo, no, don't do this. And he's like, no, I refuse. We should not have to pay for their mistakes. I have a different proposition. I will lead the charge on this, and our sietch will get the glory of our success.
Did you deny me penance?
I do, and I will deny you your life if need be. I invoke the challenge. And see, Jawid is like, he stands up, and everybody kind of like stands up as well and puts their hands on their weapon. You know what you do, Mafo. Yes, I'm calling him out. You, Zoshir Tamer of Hagaharg. You and I will fight here and now. Draw your blade or forever lose your honor.
You know, it's a pity that you choose to do this. I hope your water tastes good, at least.
Hope your water tastes good. Hope it's worth it. All right. You see, this is a very tried and true tradition with the Fremen. There is no denying the Tahadi challenge, so everybody kind of makes way, and you both get down into your skivvies, and you brandish your cryst knife as part of this. The entire tribe comes out and watches this.
Oh, fun.
Because one of you is going to get hauled off to the death stills. And now combat begins.
Oh, God. Ambrose is nervous. So sheer. Yeah.
It's not going to be a true duel in the sense where it's like you have a right guard and a left guard, and it's not going to be like that. We're just going to do this for expediency's sake. It's just a regular sort of skirmish battle. So the both of you are kind of like, circling each other, and in situations like this, there sometimes is a switch with the hands when it comes to the knife, which one holds the knife, and sometimes they'll fake you out or twist and turn and try to like drive the cryst knife into your sternum and like try to get a quick stab and move away. There's an entire art to dueling as it is, but you can tell, without any sort of check, that Mafo is scared of you because your reputation as an expert knife fighter from Hagahard exceeds you. Typically what would happen in this situation, I would have you go first. So you get to decide if you wanted to, like, flavor wise, if you want to come in on his left flank and try to get in under his guard and try to get like a quick swipe or something like that and then move away. It's up to you how you want to phrase your engagement with this Fremen knife fighter.
Zoshir would be very he doesn't do fancy moves very much. He
Mhm.
feels it's a waste of sweat,
Right.
basically letting the opponent move and reacting.
Okay. So you don't waste your energy. You just kind of let him do the work for you, and you just kind of stay focused on him.
Yeah,
as you
he's
have your map
mad.
Ready.
He's already expending energy. I got this.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll battle, and I'll give you your target number here in just a moment.
I have a
Wasn't there like a certain way we were supposed to do duels?
There is, but for the sake of expediency, I'm foregoing that.
Okay.
Let's see. I have so much threat. I'm gonna go ahead and spend some of it. I'm gonna throw 2 dice in here.
Sorry, Ambrose.
So he's
sorry,
rolling
not
4
sorry.
dice. He's gonna roll 4 dice. I'll tell you what he gets.
I am rolling 3. I have the short blades focus, and I also have a Chris knife as an asset.
Okay. Beat a 3.
Oh god. I have the talent Chris Knife Master as well.
We have a momentum, by the way.
Yes, you do. You have a momentum you can spend for an additional die if you want to roll 3
So
instead of 2.
He gets to roll it without spending that momentum because he generates a momentum by using his Chris knife. It's part of his
shit.
talent for Chris Knife
That's
Master.
right.
That
he's
is
the Chris
OP
Knife
as
Master.
shit.
That is
That is
badass. So you automatically get 3 dice. So if you wanted to get the 4th one, it just costs you 1 momentum that you have currently.
Everyone's okay with it, yeah, I'll go ahead and do that.
Go for it.
Life
show
or
off
death
your
challenge,
ass
yeah.
knife.
Absolutely. All right. So I expended 3 of my threat, and you expended 1 of your momentum. You need to beat a 3 difficulty to block. Whoa, Jeebus. All right, that is all right, ladies and gentlemen. That is
It
4,
gets
5,
bet- it
6
gets-
Holy wow.
successes.
It gets better. More better. What's the quality of your knife?
It's
Oh.
a 3.
Automatically. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow.
Don't ever
Okay.
lose that knife.
I know.
So that's
I'll
9.
tell you
That
how
is
I got
6
that.
momentum. That
9.
is 6 momentum you just generated immediately.
Jesus.
You just made this guy look like a joke in front of his Naib. So
Oh,
you're at
no,
full
don't
momentum from
do not cover
1
your face
defense
for that.
roll. So he comes in and he's like, ah! He comes in very fast, and he's very confident that this'll hurt you. But then he kind of like chickens out a little bit after the fact, after he fully extends the blade out and tries to cut across your face. You just easily lean back. You get into your defensive stance, and you kind of like you drop your blade a little bit, and you find like 3 different ways to end this guy's life. It is now your turn to attack. You have full momentum, which means you can blow some or all of it if you want, and roll all of the dice. Although you don't have to, because you already get 3 to begin with.
Things. So I picture this guy just totally coming at Soshir, and he just sidesteps, looks behind him like, okay, we're doing this.
We're doing this.
I will snag 1 more of the momentum.
Sure. So now you roll 4 dice. Excellent.
Oh shit!
Jesus Christ. You could have spent it all. We would have gotten all back again.
Holy crap.
Wow.
Roll 20 is really nice to me today. I'm not even using physical dice.
Jesus, wow.
There's no way.
I don't have enough fingers on one hand to say the number of successes, everyone.
Okay,
Someone
so...
screen cap this beautifulness, because you know
Jesus.
my next roll is gonna be horrible.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put you back in full momentum mode again, because that would just... You blew him out of the water with
What
that
water?
attack. So, yeah, what water? His water. He tries to slice, and then he gets cold feet, and he tries to back away. But that's the exact moment where you decide to move him. How do you dispatch Mafo and put an end to him?
Well, the crysknife cannot be put back in the sheath without drinking some blood. So, as
This
much
is
as
to
I,
the death.
yeah, no, that's just. I imagine this clumsy tumbling towards Zoshir in his mind anyway, and just a quick slice across the throat, like holding the knife this way and just done.
Ooh. Nice. Okay. It's over almost as as quickly as it started. He moves back and he tries to maneuver away, but you're way too fast, way too experienced for this. And you put an end to Mafo immediately. You draw the blade right along his throat, and he bleeds out. Ugh! He looks at you with shock, but respect in his eyes.
Before
And-
he expires,
Yes.
sorry, I would like to look at him and say, I didn't survive the Jakarutu to die by some no-named Fremen.
You invoke the
Okay.
Jakarutu, and at that when you say that, Jaweed, like, his eyes go wide and he looks at you and he's like, "Huh." And they all sort of bow their heads in respect as Mafo just kind of like, ugh. And he just sort of sits, he gets on his knees and just kind of like almost does like a bow, and he expires right then and there. The Fremen, stoic as ever, move in and begin to remove his accoutrements. You know this rite very well. They're going to take his body to the death stills and extract his moisture. But more than that, they're going to take his belongings, and everyone in the tribe will be able to come up and take something that belonged to Mafo, including you, who took his life. Everyone gives a small sort of soliloquy or a short personal experience that they shared with Mafo when he was alive. And then it is your turn. What you're faced with, what he owned, a small orange Catholic Bible, his crysknife, of course, which will crumble after being apart from him for too long, his Frem kit, a Mala pistol, and some maker hooks. What do you take, and what do you share?
Probably take the Mala pistol and share literally everything else, because even though Zoshir's a little arrogant and prideful, he feels that this was an unnecessary death. Like, why are we killing off Fremen when we could be banding together against the oppressors?
Yeah. Herdy is just like, Takwa is the price of freedom. And she kind of like leaves it at that. Jaweed allows you to take your Mala pistol and what have you. And he's like, we accept your plead for assistance. Name what it is that you need and you will have it. Know, however, that you're going up against a major house. To the outframe, that makes them powerful and dangerous. I suggest that you begin your search in Arakeen at the proper. He's like, this House Cheshire you seek, they currently inhabit the residential palace there. And they have friends. They work for the Harkonnens. So if you're going to begin your search there, I suggest you do so carefully. Is there anything else you require before you depart?
I apologize for minimizing your numbers.
Mafo made his choice. You see a woman, a wise woman, a Sayadina, comes out to see what had happened. And she identifies herself as Norma. She seems very knowledgeable, as soon as she sees you, she kind of blesses you in the traditional way and makes this sort of gesture to say that your ways, how your tribe and their tribe will part now, and in doing so, the way will be cleansed between you. Meaning, whatever dislike or popularity Hagahag has with the other tribes, it doesn't apply here because you maintained your honor in the face of a challenge. She tells you that if the house in Arakeen is to have the spice bribe hidden somewhere, it's likely in the areas underneath the palace where they keep captives. That may be where you need to begin your search, if your search will begin there. There are others who have ideas of how you may be able to retrieve this. Jaweed posits that if indeed the Cheshires had something to do with this, perhaps by taking some of them hostage, you can negotiate the exchange of the spice bribe. Their life for ours, he says.
That's
He's
the
like,
plan.
That's the plan. Take what you need, and you may leave at first light, he says. But since you've already expended much of your body's water, feel free to stay here the rest of the evening and recuperate. And
Thank you.
He motions, and others bring out like water rings and jugs and stuff like that you can use. What the Fremen use water rings as currency, but they also, which you get some because you took Mafo's life and whatever money he had is distributed. So you get that, but you also get actual water that you can use to refresh yourself and your party. He's like, what do you think we should do, Zoshir? Going up against the outframe like this? Should we try to be covert in what we do? Should we try to shadow them first?
Shadow, yes. We have to get to know our enemy before we can make any moves.
Okay. I trust you to lead us to victory.
It's either victory or death.
Victory or death. Excellent segue. Now, we return to the palace. As the dawn rises on Arakeen once again, we are met with our entourage as they are called down for breakfast in the main dining hall. You're all there, the majority of you anyway. Daphne, Eloise, Norma, Pardo, and your accompaniments, Amira and Tiberius. Tiberius always very quiet and standing nearby. Massum is present as well. You're in the grand dining hall of the palace. Let me make some tokens here for you. I will say that Belanda is likely on, unless you took her with you, Norma, she's on Wallach Ix, undergoing her training.
No, remember I had her stay with Massum. She was getting training with
yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, Panda's character.
Very good. She opens the door for you then. So you're all here in the main dining room. And they bring out the usual sort of things for breakfast. It's a little bit of a awkward meeting here in the dining room. The servants come and see to your every need, with Amira and Tiberius kind of like at the periphery while the rest of you sit at the table and partake. What am I forgetting here? Did I forget Pardo? Where's Pardo? There you go. I think
Daphne.
Dr. Sloan. Sorry, go ahead.
Daphne will make sure to have Massum seated relatively near her. And she'll make a point to engage him in conversation a little bit.
Certainly. Massum seems a lot more adult these days. He's maybe like, 3 years Paul Atreides junior, but he's getting older. His voice is deepening, and he's starting to grasp a lot of the difficult concepts that he was having trouble with on Jabberwock. In 6 months here, he's grown up quite a bit.
Daphne makes a point to not treat him like a child.
How old?
Like,
Sorry.
we'll always talk to him like he knows what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
How old is
He respects
Massum?
that. About 13.
Oh, okay. So he was literally an infant when I last saw him.
Probably,
Okay.
yeah. So he's grown up quite a bit. Pardo, you're there, and your Schrodinger, I'm assuming you're going to leave back in your quarters, but you see Omelis is also present, and he sits near you. You know Omelis is supposed to leave at some point today. He's due at the starport and everything, but he's going to say his last goodbyes to all of you over breakfast. You know that there is urgent business that's going to be taking place in Carthage soon, and your house is among the ones that have been summoned. Now that you're here all gathered together, they sort of bring you in one at a time and sit you down at the table. And Dr. Sloan tries to broach conversation with the rest of you there. Just sort of giving an update on Lysander, as he and Dr. Yue were attending to him at the Souk School before arriving here recently. And it's like, well, he's coming along a lot better, but his nerves were permanently damaged from the poison that was delivered to him during that duel. He can, however, return to a normal life. He's going to require some adjustments, however. I thought you would want to know this, Your Grace.
There will always be a place for him in our house, wherever he wishes and is capable of serving.
He smiles and takes a swig of some spiced coffee. Eloise, you're a little taken aback, seeing some of these people for the first time in years is a little bit, it's taking you back a ways. How does she react to all of this and all of these people?
I think outwardly just stone face, like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
All of her movements are very deliberate and curt. She's polite, but as much as she has to be. Internally, different story, but externally, that's what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. Pardo, I'm interested to know, after everything that he's gone through, his entire crucible, during the second season where he broke the Tleilaxu conditioning and forgot a very big piece of himself, what is Pardo like now in the company of his house entourage?
I did not consider that. Really. I'm going to say that Pardo very occasionally genuinely smiles.
That's unnerving.
It's not
I've
like
never seen him do that before.
It's not like a creepy smile, it's a genuine, sincere smile. Very occasionally. For the most part, he's the same Pardo. For the most part.
Very interesting. Those handmaidens come around and they offer some spiced coffee along with the typical sort of breakfast meals that they offer here. There is quite a bit of noise taking place outside. It seems that there are some people from the streets that are You're not sure if they're protesting or they're just shouting at the guard out front, the Harkonnen guard out front. But it is making a little bit of a ruckus. So it's a little bit difficult at first to hear each other talk. And then, Omelis kind of makes this gesture, and the handmaidens and servants go and they shutter the windows, so it acts like a buffer to the noise that's going on outside. It feels very impersonal when it happens. How does Daphne react to Eloise with that sort of like stoic stony exterior, and with Pardo's particular genuine smiles, which are not something that you're not accustomed to seeing?
So Daphne probably has a list going on in her head, like a roster of like, all right, who needs my attention? All right, Pardo looks like he's happy, so I will check in with him at some point. But she also, so there's probably Massum like right across from her at the breakfast table, and then Eloise is also sat conversational distance. And Daphne tries to catch up and ask Eloise what her life has been like since she left.
Well, a lot of things I can't tell you, obviously. Guild secrets and such, It's mostly been very good, enlightening. Seen many worlds. So much information has flown through me. It's honestly hard to parse it all.
I'm certain you've seen countless wonders.
I think she gets for a moment a thousand yard stare, remembering her visions from this morning, just for like just a minute moment, and then back. Yes.
I'd love to hear about them sometime.
The ones I can share, I will gladly do so.
Do space squid exist?
Space squid?
I heard stories of them when I was a little girl. Tremendous comet-sized kraken who swam through the vacuum of space from star to star.
I can neither confirm or deny the existence of such cephalopodal entities.
Well, let me have my childhood dreams, I suppose.
Indeed.
It's good to have you back.
This is rather nostalgic, I'll say. Even though a very few familiar faces today, rather.
My mother has a small shrine if you'd like to visit.
I think perhaps I owe my sister at least a moment. I do have a favor I would ask, actually.
Anything.
Could I enlist the service of your mentat? She'll look at Pardo.
Mm-hmm.
I have some data that their mind is only their mind is suited for. I would need you to sign some waivers, information, NDAs, all that jazz. She says to Pardo, not to Daphne.
Assuming he has the time, of course.
I had some troubling visions this morning that I need help parsing.
Let's see.
Steals a glance at Massum, who probably overheard that.
Runs in the family.
Well, like, Daphne glances over at Massum to, like, see how he reacts to Eloise talking about her visions.
Massum's interest is definitely piqued when he hears like visions and stuff like that, and he kind of like pays attention now to Eloise, he has no idea about whatsoever. So he's just kind of like listening intently as to every word that you're saying in conjunction with visions. Give me a discipline check with observation, if you have it as a focus, Eloise.
I do not.
Okay.
Gonna just stick with duty.
All right.
It's been working well for me.
Duty.
No focus for me. Hey, I'll take 2 though.
So remember when the guild told you that there were multiple nexuses that exist on Arrakis before and after House Cheshire arrived on the planet that were clouding their ability to see what is going to happen on this planet? You're getting a strong sense from that boy.
I think for the first time she'll focus on Massum. I'm sorry, I probably should have introduced myself to you properly. I've not seen you since you were in swaddling clothes. I'm your great aunt? Question mark from Aaron.
You knew my mother?
Your mother, yes.
He has this faraway, sad look in his eyes when he says
I know
mother.
what it's like to lose a parent. It's difficult.
He looks to Daphne. How does, and with somewhat like with a questioning look, like, does she really know who Kyra was?
I didn't know you'd met Massum as a baby. Were you there
Briefly.
when he was born?
Was I there?
I could say, sure.
All right. Yes.
Well, okay.
So Daphne's line of questioning is figuring out, do you know who his father is?
Ah.
He's confused because you Kyra had Massum away from Jabberwock. And so not many people know or knew him as a child. Like, he was raised wholly on Ishia with Kyra, with no contact to anyone. So that's why he's confused when you say, "Oh, I knew your mother," or whatever. He's like, "What are you talking about?" He's only ever known Kyra, and it wasn't until recently that he was introduced to Adeline.
I see.
So when you say that, he's like, "Wait, you knew her?"
So I knew,
like,
I knew her
you knew
before
Adeline.
Yes.
I see. Yes, I miss both of my mothers terribly now. He kind of sets down his spiced coffee and just kind of stares off a little bit.
At least you though will get some semblance of closure. And she'll look to Daphne. I understand your sister is to be put to death once the Landsraad investigation is done.
Massum takes a deep breath at that one.
That's extraordinarily what for breakfast talk.
Apologies.
I loved my sister and I loved my mother both.
There's a very awkward silence at the table at the tail end of that, just because of recent events. By recent, I mean 6 months ago, when Alicia murdered Adeline and betrayed House Cheshire. Everybody knows this, but speaking about it in public, within the confines of this family, or this entourage, is very tenuous, shall we say. Massum doesn't seem to want to have this conversation, and he seems, with your discipline role, I'm going to say that psychologically speaking, he's aching to get out of this room right now. He keeps looking at the exit. His feet are pointed in that direction. His hands are restless, that sort of thing. But he is maintaining a modicum of control, that much you can tell. This
Uh,
one must be Bene Gesserit trained, perhaps.
Apologies.
Daphne pick up on this as well?
Absolutely, yes.
All right.
You, Norma, would definitely notice this about Massum.
Daphne will stand up. A lovely breakfast. I believe I'm finished. Massum, would you care to walk in the gardens with me?
Yes, I would very much like to. Thank you. She says it almost too quickly and like pushes himself away from the table, and part of the covering on the table gets caught on his jacket and pulls a little bit, and some of the glassware falls over, and he goes to reach for it, but a servant is already there, like trying to clean it up, and he's just kind of like, oh shit, okay. He just kind of follows Daphne out of the room. Do any one of you follow, or do you stay behind to chit chat and chew the scenery?
From the opposite side of the table, would I have been able to hold the tablecloth back from make the clatter so that he sees I'm still being helpful?
Sure. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, and just giving him the look of go. You should have seen this coming.
Who do you say that to?
No. I'm giving him the look and the quiet speech of you should have seen this coming. It's part of your training.
He gives you that look like, no, it isn't, and it doesn't work like that. You don't understand. He's like, he's going into that preteen phase where like no one understands him, and he's got prescient visions of planets being destroyed, that sort of thing.
That's why I'm trying to be the cool big sister for him.
Remember, I'm telling him to try and keep it local. Try and actually focus on his surroundings with his training.
I know. I'm always keeping eyes on my surroundings, Sister Norma.
Eloise will stand up as they go to leave and be like, my apologies. I let my own bitterness get ahead of me. And then sit back down.
Massum, not being terribly accustomed to this sort of, life, half-heartedly forgets, and then he turns around and he like does like a curtsy, to Eloise, like, apology accepted. I want to get the fuck out of here. Excuse me. Goodbye. He walks hand in hand with you, Daphne, outside to walk the palmaries that are lying along the side of one side of the palace. There are servants there with large brimmed hats, and they're pouring water into the base of the palm trees. Do any of you want to go with them into the garden, or is everybody remaining behind to chew the scenery, so to speak?
Chew the scenery.
Chew the scenery. All right. So while Massum and Daphne leave the room, you see the doctor dabs his lips and leaves the room as well. So let's see, Massum, and you are gonna head out this way towards the grand foyer, and the doctor starts heading out this way and out into the kitchens. 1 second. Secret messages. The sounds of thopters can be heard outside as you make your way out that way, Daphne.
Daphne would like to swing by the ruckus. Like, what's all that noise?
Sure. You're swinging your way over that way. Before that happens, though, Pardo, you and Norma, I believe, are still in the residential dining room, along with Eloise. Most of you don't know Eloise. However, before you came down, the night before, Omelas gave you the full story. In private, of course. But he told you basically everything that you needed to know about the black sheep of the family. And assured all of you that she is here on behalf of the guild and for no other reason whatsoever. Meaning, she has an agenda. And that agenda should be at the top list of your priorities in terms of finding out what is going on. Proceed. however you would like. If you wanted to question Eloise or probe at her story or bring up the past or what have you. But Pardo and Reverend Mother Norma have the floor.
Sitting
Everyone
closer to her.
stares
After you.
awkwardly at each other.
Yeah, it's a very, very quiet exchange
Beautiful.
of stares, an inner
Mm.
monologue. It's Dune, so it's whispering monologue, like, where are they looking?
I feel like some mutes were on, to be honest with you.
It's good
All
to see
right.
that you are well, Pardo. It has been so long.
Indeed it has. Indeed it has.
I see you have not been introduced yet either. I look just directly at Eloise. I am Reverend Mother Norma. It's a pleasure to meet you.
You as well, Reverend Mother. The Guild and the Bene Gesserit Sisterhood have a long-standing and fruitful relationship. I hope to continue that with you.
Yes. Let us continue our relationship. I see you have business with Pardo. I shall let you have this.
Thank you.
I excuse myself.
Where are you going?
I am going to see if I can make contact with agents to find out where Juana has gone, like, where they have kept her, so that I know where to strike. I need to be busy now.
She gave you a name of a sietch along the shield wall. I'll let you guess as to which one it is.
Oh no. Guess I'll have to make my way to a certain siege.
How would you like to get there?
I'm sure that the Sisterhood has their own method of travel outside of ornithopters, using other
Ground cars. You can take a ground car through the basin and get to the the rocky outcroppings. From there, though, it's quite a climb. She did tell you in confidence, however, Miss Lady Fenring did, that once upon a time she made that climb, but it took her the majority of the day to do so. Do you feel up for that challenge?
If
so,
Margot
give me a
can do
move
it,
check.
So can I. All right. Does it count as difficult terrain?
It is difficult terrain, yes.
Cool.
Extremely so.
Because I got something for that.
Good, because I got some threat for you.
Awesome. It basically drops the DC by 2.
Oh, does it? Okay, so I'm going to drop 2 threat to even that out. Perfect. You have full momentum. Give me difficulty 3, please.
Okay.
It's treacherous ground, however, which means 18s, 19s, and 20s are potentially dangerous for you as complications.
Let me make sure I can do this. Okay, yeah, I get to re-roll 1 for it. So.
While you re-roll that,
and can I use body control as discipline for this?
I'll allow it, sure. Yeah.
All right.
While you're doing that, Tiberius looks across the room at Amira, who sort of like has a similar sort of job of as bodyguard, Exceptional. Okay.
4 successes.
4 successes. You succeed. You managed to make the climb successfully. This is going to take you the majority of the day, however, but you cut a portion of that away because you're moving by yourself and you're moving very quickly and making your way through. So you managed to get there before the sun sets. While that's happening, though, you see Tiberius looks across the room and says not very subtly, "What's that one all about?" pointing, like jutting his chin underneath his mask to Amira, Eloise's shadow. To which she responds, "Careful," as a warning to your bodyguard. Do you have a retort or have anything to add, Master Mentat?
I think Pardo is going to try and build some goodwill here. And instead of trying to stand up for Tiberius, it's going to be putting Tiberius down, in a sense, and simply saying, back to your post, Tiberius.
There's a short pause where you can't read his face. He's got a helmet and everything on, but there's a short silent moment where he doesn't say or do anything, and he's like, "Yes, sir." He turns around, goes and shuts the door outside the banquet hall. Amira kind of gives you a nod, like, "Thanks, I respect that."
Poor Tiberius, man. He got fired too. It's been
Didn't
to the
ask for
ringer.
any of this.
As you're chit-chatting in the main room there, go back to the palace hall here. You and Massum managed to make your way outside, and you're on your way around the side of the palace through the gardens. He looks to you and he's like, "Is there something you wanted to talk to me about?"
I just had to get out of there, and it seemed like you wanted to leave as well.
Yes, I don't know what it is. I've been on edge lately. Bad dreams. Not like the ones that I saw on Jabberwock, but, well, they're not far off, I'm afraid.
Are they true dreams?
Only time will tell.
You know, I've been having bad dreams too.
What happened? What happened in those dreams?
Just the other night, I dreamt that I was running in the desert and I got chased down by just a vicious night black wolf, twice as big as the jungle cats on Jabberwock.
His eyes go wide when you say that, and he almost like finishes your sentence, and a shot rang out, and a worm appeared.
I see. I thought this was a stress dream, but maybe not.
He looks down and he looks back at you with these eyes that have a fear, you know? Just then you hear the sounds of an ornithopter like engine flaring on, like, and the wings flapping nearby. There's a pad like not too far away. And give me a discipline check, please.
Okay. Oh, my first roll of the season. Oh,
May
what
you
is
have
that?
my
All
luck.
exposition.
So much exposition.
Would observer infiltration count?
Observe.
Okay. Then I'm going to add truth to that because power derives from knowing the truth.
Okay, beat a 4.
And so that gives me 3 dice because my attribute applies, or is that just 2?
You get standard 2.
Okay.
And if you get something where it's like, oh, you can roll an extra dice for free, if it's something like this, then yeah, you get 3. You have a full allotment of momentum if you want to spend some to get additional dice. 1 for 1, 2 for 3. Sorry, 3 for 2. Yeah, you get whatever.
Okay. You know, I'll spend 2 out of our 6 momentum to get 3 more dice.
Sure. Okay. Roll them bones. You need a 4.
Roll the bones.
Okay, yay! I'm glad I bought the momentum.
Wow.
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 Got
Okay.
it back.
Yeah, so you something is off here, and you're not sure why, but something tells you there's something to this noise that you're hearing that is like, it's not a coincidence. But this is all undershadowing the fact that when you just realize that you and Massum are having prescient visions, the same prescient visions, or maybe they're not visions, more they're like they're just dreams that seem to be hinting at something greater that's going on here since your arrival to Arrakis. That much happens, and then as you're nearing the ornithopter, its wings kind of flare up, and you see some people like getting down off of it, and they start approaching, and they start making this motion like over here. As soon as you look over, though, you notice that there's some people nearby. It's still like dawn, so the sun is still rising. So it's somewhat dark in certain areas. But someone emerges from the shadows before you can react, puts a knife to Massum's throat, and just kind of leans back like this and separates the two of you. Another one emerges from the shadow with blue eyes and puts a Maul pistol to your head and says,
Oh shit.
Ooh, that's not good.
I'm going to need you to come with me.
that's where we'll stop for a mid-show break. We shall return in 10 minutes.
Oh,
The time is now 12:36 Eastern Standard Time. We shall return at 12:45 Eastern Standard Time.
This is a hell of a meeting. 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. We have returned from our break. Last where we left off, Reverend Mother Norma was climbing the shield wall and trying to find the sietch where the supposed Sayadina resides, a rogue Bene Gesserit from the schism on Wallach. She has been tasked to find, one of many. And the rest of the entourage was having a very awkward breakfast in the dining hall of the residential palace at Arakeen. Meanwhile, Massum and Daphne took a walk, while Zoshir and his Fremen, after finishing a successful duel with another Fremen warrior, have descended and have taken Daphne and Massum captive. All right. So, Daphne gets to have the line after the Mala pistol is pressed to the back of her neck, and is told to go quietly so no one gets hurt.
The child is a Bene Gesserit ward. He has nothing to do with any quarrel between you and I. Let him go and I'll come quietly.
Purdy throws you a look, Zoshir, and Massum throws you a look, Daphne. He's using the house communicating method, using your eyes. And with those eyes, he says, "No, wait, I can help you." Do you recant, you say, or do you allow him to be taken as well?
I will blink back. Your life is more important than mine.
Okay. He'll let you take the lead on that then. Zoshir, the Thopter's ready to go. Fremen armed and waiting. Purdy has control of Massum for now. Your people have control of the House Regent. Do you take the Thopter and get out? And if so, where do you go? Do you take it directly to Simpo?
At what Daphne says, Zoshir kind of actually a look of being somewhat startled crosses his expression, and he considers this child for a moment. A look at Daphne. He's of an age he can decide for himself. Is he not?
We are entirely in your power.
He throws up his hands and he's like, "Hey, I'll cooperate," he says.
Zoshir makes a mental note to introduce this child to the Sayadina.
You step over the unconscious soldiers that were posted on guard here previously. And you step into the ornithopter and it starts to take off. Inside the palace, alarms go off. Far too late, however. Tiberius barges in. "Master Reed, there's been an incursion on the other side of the palace. Your orders. Daphne and Massum have been taken. You're the Marshal Reed. What are your orders?"
Yeah, my orders.
"Yes, sir." He's like, he opens up the servants open up the shutters, and you see that the protesters that were out front, or the distraction that the Fremen used to lure your attention, have now dispersed. He's pointing out in the distance. One of our Thopters was taken, sighted heading that way, just moments ago. What are your orders?
Send a small group of Thopters after them directly. Another group.
I'll lead them myself,
Should-
sire.
No, not that group. No. You go with the second group. It will go off several kilometers east of it and follow in the event that they attempt to lose the previous group.
Follow and not intersect. Understood. He gets on his comm, starts talking to local security. Eloise, did you want Amira to react to any of this and to accompany Tiberius in his efforts to corral the security forces after the assailants, or did you want to keep her back?
So I happen to have House Cheshire eye language on my sheet. Can I assume I've taught that to Amira?
Yes.
Excellent. I will tell her to follow and go with them.
Just to shadow them?
Yes. If she and if she needs to step in, do so.
Okay. She disappears. She just kind of recedes into the background and amidst all the chaos, and no one knows where the fuck she is after that. But in this particular case, Amira is present anytime Tiberius and the other soldiers are pursuing Zoshir and the kidnappers on board their thopter. So, because in Dune you have architect play and then you have agent play. So whenever combat occurs with those forces, you can take control of Amira and she can kick ass and take names, as it were.
Excellent.
Same is true for Master Reed here. If you have control over Tiberius and his sheet, if you don't, let me know and I'll correct that. All right. So the thopter takes off and everybody's off to the races. And now we're going to pause and go to Gidi Prime.
I would like to have a scene with my quarter before we go to.
Oh, certainly.
Giddy Prime. I would like to have a scene with basically my protege. Well, not protege, but like my group of people, basically.
Sure.
Obviously,
You want
I
it
would like to talk about
specifically
this.
with Yeva or with the Keens, the leaders of the White Rabbits? Did you want to speak with them specifically, or just to Yeva?
Yeva, specifically Yeva.
Okay. Post her reading the summons to Gidi Prime and you having discussed that with her the night prior, as the morning comes, you sit down and have a private conversation with her.
Mhm.
You made a decision?
Yeva, what do you think of all this? Why do you think he's inviting us to this party?
Does it really matter? Isn't this a good opportunity to get out from underneath this place?
You say this place with such disdain. Is it really that bad?
Do you really think that you have any power here? Do you think we have any power here?
Not
You know,
as
there are people that are pushing to depose you, right? Political opponents, aristocrats, wealthy aristocrats that want to depose you and want you put back in the garden. This after we saved this planet and their miserable lives. They would have you see you locked up. So at this point, any opportunity is a welcome opportunity, I would say. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, I agree. I do have a question to ask you.
Sure.
I do feel like we have more power than you think, considering where we're out and what we own.
Explain.
Well, the White Rabbits do control the other moon, and we control this moon. The amount of production that comes out of these two moons is more than half of what House Cheshire produces. So technically,
Archibald, stop. You're military, just like I am. You, of all people, know. Taking territory and holding it are two different things. You currently hold control over one of the moons and production of the ornithopters. But did you read the reports? We've been missing. We have ornithopters that have been missing for months. No one can find them.
really,
Moreover, Arrakis has been making overtures to bring the parts to them and have them assembled on site. They're already trying to undermine us right now. They're making us irrelevant. Don't you see that?
Now I do.
We just spoke with the Chom adjuster. They've made a decision to, instead of us amassing the ornithopters here, then shipping them to Arrakis for this contract. And instead, we're just going to ship the parts, and they're going to use the local labor to mass produce them there. Let's face it, we own nothing here. We would be foolish not to take any opportunities at this point. And I insist you take me with you.
Oh,
Because if you don't take an opportunity like this, I certainly will.
I promise you we will be definitely taking this opportunity. And maybe it was a good idea marrying you.
Well,
Sometimes
the
you
wisest
just gotta
thing
be a
you've
little
done. I trust that, though, that if they specifically cited you as the subject of this invitation, they're not going to want me there. And that's fine. That's fine. You should go. I'll stay here, and I'll hold the fort, as it were.
Oh no, you will be coming with me.
No?
Like you
Certain
said.
the Harkonnens will have me?
Well, we are a team, aren't we? We're in this together. So if you go down, I go down. Vice versa.
That's how it is, I suppose.
Husband and wife,
Yes.
right? And I bring up a glass.
She kind of like half-heartedly toasts you. Doesn't drink. Very well, then. The guild will be sending a vessel soon. We shall be aboarded, I suppose. I'll make the arrangements. Gets up.
Agreed.
She
Just
makes
to know-
the necessary arrangements for you to travel. It'll take the better part of a week, you would imagine, you know?
I agree. Just know that what we're going into, I've done my research on the Harkonnens. Let's just say they have a reputation.
So do we, she says,
Good
confidently,
point.
and walks out of the room. Okay. So take a gander of the homeworld for House Harkonnen. It's kind of what it looks like. Give you
A giant factory. That's what it is.
a giant factory, exactly. That's putting it accurately. Let's see here. Okay. As the shuttle from the Hayliner descends onto the onyx-clad surface of Gidi Prime, the red light indicator to don your respirator comes on overhead. Breaking through coal-black clouds, you bear witness to the mechanized monstrosity that is the city of Barony. Smoke billows out of skyscrapers and choke the skies, precipitating acid showers. Searchlights flood the air amidst streams of hot steam, which are released from steel vents and chimneys along the causeway. Massive train factories powered by blood, tears, and sweat slide along mechanized tracks down into the darkened depths of this over-industrialized planet. Small throngs of citizens move briskly with air respirators and masks fixed to their faces during the night curfew. Their wary eyes scan above them for signs of suspensor platforms as they listen for the echoing, modulated sounds of Harkonnen patrol comms. Eventually, the shuttle lurches to a halt on the landing pad and the doors hiss open. A contingent of fully armed and armored Harkonnen troops await you on the tarmac. All are led by a tall, slender man with effeminate features, sporting inky blue within blue eyes and red lips due to consumption of sappho juice. On this pointed chin, you're greeted by the Baron's personal mentat advisor. Welcome to Barony, General. I am the Lord Baron's advisor, Piter de Vries. Clearly, the Baron has chosen wisely to invite the hero of Jabberwock and not any of your subordinates to Gidi Prime. As we like to say here, accept no substitution for excellence. Right this way. The Baron awaits us.
Well, thank you. And I'll walk.
Okay. Yeva is just kind of like in awe of everything that you're seeing here. This is kind of what barony looks like as you're landing. After the greeting, Piter and the troopers walk you into what appears as a massive mound of metal, almost impenetrable in its darkness, save for the columns of light that protrude from it. Inside its halls, corridors are dimly lit and mostly from below. The corridors and door frames are adorned with intricate and perverse caricatures. Perhaps it is a combination of the mystique or the constant chill air that pervades everything, but you feel your skin begin to feel sweaty and clammy in this place. The architecture, along with the oppressive cloud cover, means no ray of sunlight ever reaches the ground on Gidi Prime. Give me an understand or discipline 3 check, please. Whichever is higher. Oh, this would be utilizing observation if you had.
Okay, give me one moment. That's the wrong one. Crap. I don't have that one. Dumb. Give me a minute. Apparently, I had the wrong character sheet open.
No worries.
There we go. Come on. There we go. All right, and you said, what was it?
Understand or discipline difficulty 3. And if you have observation under discipline or something like that, it applies.
I do.
Excellent.
Which drive?
Truth.
Just 2 dice, right?
You can,
observe.
unless you want to spend momentum, of which you have much.
Yep.
You have a full alert.
I'm gonna spend I'm gonna spend 2 momentum to make it 4.
It would be 1 momentum for 1
Just
dice,
one. Okay.
and then
2
3
momentum for the third, with 2 extra.
Right, so it would be 1 and then 3, so 4 momentum.
It'd be 3 total.
3 total. Sorry.
You spend the 1 for the 1, the 2 for the second one.
Gotcha.
And the 3
Doubles
for the
each one.
third.
Okay.
There we go. Okay.
It's not that it doubles; it's 1 extra per die.
I'm still gonna spend the 3 and go with 4 dice.
All right, go ahead and roll your dice.
Submit. Using focus. Yes. Observe. Is my focus? Oh, 2, 4,
Wow.
6.
You gained it back. Wow, well done. All right, so you make a very good observation about your surroundings as you're going into this place, and that's when you realize, like, oh, there are comm eyes all over this place, including little tiny murder holes that are virtually everywhere. You notice this right as they stop you before the Baron's throne room. These 2 big double doors. You discover what that feeling was, that clammy feeling. That's when you notice those calm eyes, like, and the murder holes dotting every surface around you. If you so much as sneeze in this place in the wrong way, your actions will be greeted with a barrage of poisoned darts or like a swarm of hunter seekers. Just as an example.
Wow.
Yeva is just kind of like maintaining her composure as an officer, but she is very clearly in the same sort of boat where she's like, "Oh shit, we are in the lion's den now."
I'm gonna be honest. I told her.
The Baron's mentat doesn't have much to say to you, though he does seem to be making observations of you, judging by the way he keeps throwing glances in your direction. Finally, after applying his hand to the palm lock there, the doors swing open, and he stands aside to allow you inside the chamber. The Baron will see you now. At the rear of the dimly lit and massive chamber is an empty throne. and a smooth slate stairwell that kind of curves up and upward into this impenetrable darkness. As you approach, hollow projectors near the throne spring to life and create this large outline of a figure that is unmistakably the Baron's. Though you can't see any details, it is a live feed from somewhere inside the palace. He hovers near and beckons you to come closer to this floating projection, and then he starts floating up the stairwell. Judging by his gestures, he appears to be drying himself. Perhaps the Baron grooms himself more than most due to his condition. As you venture closer to the hollow, you begin to make out other details around the room. Forms of people splayed out on the floor in different positions around the chamber. Dinner guests are lying dead in pools of their own blood nearby. Making note of the signs of struggle and poisoned darts adorning their bodies, you gather there was some conflict that occurred just before you arrived. The body count continues as the Baron begins his ascent. Piter stands watching at the doorway, a smirk playing on his elfin face. The Baron speaks. Congratulations on your recent engagement, General. You are probably wondering who all these people are, why they are dead. Do not worry. They were all bad. They despised you, plotted against you, and even worse, underestimated you. I will not make such mistakes. How do you respond?
It's quite the show of dominance you have here.
Yeva kind of looks at you nervously and looks around the room at all the dead people and like gives you this look like she's having second thoughts now. But she looks at the stairwell like, well, if you're going to go for it, you might as well follow him up and not turn around now.
Oh, we're in this together.
She takes a deep breath and follows in lockstep with you. As you ascend the stairwell, the projector image disappears and you emerge onto a landing that overlooks the throne room from above. Piter follows behind diligently. The floors here are awash in blood. You hear the sounds of bones and plates clicking and connecting into place as the suspensors that are embedded in the Baron's back spring to life. He descends from above with glow globes orbiting him, appearing like a twisted angel of myth, terrible and surreal to behold. Clothed in a deep red robe with various rings adorning each finger, the Baron Harkonnen floats closer and looks down upon you from above. Despite his appearance, power and menace seems to exude from the man. He gestures for a servant nearby to fetch you a drink. Forgive the mess. Undoubtedly you have questions about why you are here. Ask them now. You are, after all, a guest of honor.
I guess we'll go through it. But yes, why am I here? I was very surprised to get your summons, actually. A little nascent house like mine caught your radar.
Why did I bring you here?
Yeah.
To honor you. Tell me, since the Battle of Jabberwock, has anyone given you a medal, erected a statue of you, or thrown a parade in your name? Why do you think that is?
Because some people don't know what they have until they've lost it.
You saved billions in an atomic attack. Unprecedented in our time, in our generation. They give you nothing. Instead, they plan to take it from you.
Yeah. But they wouldn't be successful.
And then he motions to how they're very dead and on the floor. And he did this for you. And now you owe him something.
And it seems that you have already taken care of the problem.
Indeed, I have. Your peers became erratic and violent. When I proposed a toast to your name, our security reacted to those threats and neutralized them. These people intended to remove you from power, Lord Librius. Ungrateful conspirators who have publicly challenged your position since House Cheshire plucked you out of the garden. You see, Yeva speaks up and is like, what should we do with them now? He smiles. Take them back with you to Jabberwock for all I care. Paida can provide you with the Shiga wire reel that shows them attacking my people. Feel free to let the footage do the talking for you.
Yeah. We can make that happen.
But what do you want from us here? Yeva asked, her voice somewhat quavering.
I'm gonna kind of like put my hand on her shoulder.
Oh, like
got
ignore her? Like,
oh no,
she's
no,
just
no!
like-
Like as in calm down,
Oh.
breathe.
He's hover the whole time. He's above you, so you're having to like look up at him. And he's like, a better question to ask would be, what do you want for yourself? And what are you willing to achieve it? You possess one of the greatest military minds in recent generations. Even the Emperor has taken notice of you after Jabberwock. Such a mind with such talents is being squandered by your sponsor house. You are a lion amidst sheep. I want your mind and commitment, Lord Librius. Big changes are coming to Arrakis. But the thing about the change in the Imperium is that it is always temporary. House Harkonnen, on the other hand, is forever. Make that what you will, Lord Librius. He looks at you to the side of his eyes as he refills his drink, and one of these servants, who are completely bald, androgynous, wearing light-colored, semi-see-through clothes, like comes up and offers you a drink, and just quietly recedes into the background. Some weird thing crawls around on all fours. They look like legs, but they're more like hands. It hisses as it gets near. Some creature of the Tleilaxton, perhaps.
Then tell me, what is it I must do to show my commitment? You brought me here. You show me all the dead conspirators, you should say. So that means I owe you one. I supposedly owe you one. And that is to stay loyal to you. What do I have to do to prove that loyalty?
How much do you actually know about your old house, General? You used to be next in line for dukedom, and then they imprisoned you. And
That's
then after
right.
they altered the rules, they set you free and used you for their own ends to quell a rebellion. Is that right? What did they give you in return? A nascent house? How quaint. I think you deserve better. I think I would like to know more about House Cheshire. A major house, unlike most, granted a chome contract by the Emperor. Why? Why does the Emperor favor House Cheshire? Moment of truth, Archibald. You know things no one else knows.
I do. I think I do think that the Emperor in general does rely on us for the
Why? He says. He's pressing you. He is binding you to an oath to him. Spending threat. He has binding promise. So, if you're going to break your word to the Baron now, you're going to have to spend 6 momentum to do so.
Burn it all. Burn it all. And if you have determination,
Wait, out of
that's
character. I really didn't bind anything in this conversation.
Oh, but you did, because you owe him one. Means you're
Oh,
loyal.
that. Oh, okay.
And you acknowledge the debt.
Mm-hmm.
You made the classic Faye mistake. You acknowledged the debt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't know how that worked, but okay.
Imperial politics, you know.
Yeah. Anyways. Fuck. Okay, so out of character, half wants to do it because House Cheshire has not been nice to me.
We gave you a moon!
And moon, I saved your fucking planet. He's got a point on that part.
I'm sorry that our GDP has to go to cleaning up nuclear waste over building a statue.
Over. Okay. I need to. All right. But yes.
He's going to create a new trait for the scene called domineering, which means his difficulty to the difficulty in going against the Baron on what he wants to gain from you is increased by 1. So whatever he's going to try to get the information he wants out of you. That's the information you know. Why is the Emperor so interested in House Cheshire? How did they manage to secure a Chome Company contract on Arrakis? Baron presses you. Communicate with deceit as a focus. His pursuit is power. He is going to use all of the dice today. So he gets 2, and then he's going to add 1, 2, 3 more dice for a total of 5.
Okay.
Using his focus. Okay, wow, that was fucking terrible.
A 20
2,
even.
3, yeah. He'll buy that off with threat. So that doesn't come into contact with anything.
Should I just wait for you
That
to
was
like
a terrible
make all these
roll.
rolls?
You should wait for me to fuck myself over here.
Okay.
Jesus.
Cunning. He is cunning, however. So I'm gonna say the difficulty is 4. Yeah, 4. To resist in giving him what he wants. That requires a discipline check from you, unless you forfeit.
No.
In which case, you don't have to roll, and you get a new trait. So if you resist him, you don't get the trait. But if you willingly give him the information, you gain a new trait, or your character does. So does your house. Favorable to the Harkonnens. Meaning any interactions with them reduces any difficulty for you. You can request things all you want, and it's a lot easier for you to do than anybody else. So, do you give in or do you resist his compel? Yeva looks at you and kind of tugs on your uniform sleeve like, this is it. This is the moment we've been waiting for. This is our opportunity.
So
Your window is closing.
I'm going to resist.
Okay, roll the bones. You need to
Using
get
all the
4
momentum, everything
successes.
Have
Okay.
determination.
If you're willing to spend a determination, you don't have to use all the momentum, because when you use the point of determination, you automatically get a 1 on one of the dice, which means you get 2 automatic successes. Which means which means you can only purchase 3 more dice, not 4.
I have. I'm going to use the determination point.
Okay, so you get 2 automatic successes. You still have 1 die that you're going to roll unless you want to spend momentum.
Oh, I'm 100% spending momentum. I'm making sure I win this roll.
Okay, so you're going to get
this.
3
I'm going to be
dice.
honest. This is a dick measuring contest right now, and I'm going to fucking win it.
Okay.
For record-keeping purposes, how much momentum are you spending?
I'm thinking I'm going to spend all of it just to make sure I win.
Okay. So for an additional 3, you're going to spend 3.
And you said this was a discipline, right?
Yes, this is discipline.
All right.
He is trying to corrupt you.
This is truth, power, justice, faith, duty.
This is not duty. This would be faith, I would say. Unless you have come up with a very compelling reason to say this is for my own personal power or for truth or whatever. I would imagine it would have to do with faith, because you have faith in your house, faith in your family, the Cheshires, perhaps.
Okay, this is the reason why I'm resisting.
That's the reason why you're resisting.
The reason why I'm resisting is because I want to do it on my own terms, not the Harkonnens' terms.
Oh, shit. Okay, so this is a power thing for you.
Yep.
Okay, proceed.
And it goes along with, I will have what is owed to me.
Very nice. Okay, go ahead and roll.
All right, give me a minute. I got to redo the roll. Oh, Jesus. So you said it was discipline and then power?
4. Yeah. You want to meet a difficulty of 4.
And then how many dice do I get with all the momentum?
4 total. One of them already came up 2 auto successes.
And then I do have a focus in this, which is observation.
This is not observation. No,
Okay.
you do not. All right. So your skill is irrelevant. So you only get You got 2.
Yep. So 3.
3. You get 3 successes plus the
Plus
2.
the
That's
2.
5. So you get 1 momentum back. You successfully defied the Baron's compelling of you. His attempt to corrupt you has failed for now. He's just, and he's like, why is it that House Cheshire is so popular with the Emperor? Like, why does he want them? And what is your response to that? You're just like, oh, I don't know.
I'm literally gonna say I'm gonna be. To be honest with you, I have no idea. I was a prisoner. Do you really think they trusted me with that kind of stuff? Even before.
He kind of smiles and turns his back to you. Yeva is like, how do we know we can trust you?
We can't, Yeva.
You do not trust me. Good. You have good instincts. Never trust an empty hand. Trust is earned, is it not?
Very so.
Unlike House Cheshire, I am proposing to earn your trust.
And something tells me that you like the thrill of the chase.
I enjoy winning, he says.
Exactly.
I like to win.
You
Yeva is like, what if we were to refuse? Then you accept your fate as a toothless puppet for House Cheshire. You will continue to be debased, demoted, and demoralized by your allies. But if you accept, then I say, an excellent choice. Paita will be sending an envoy to Jabberwock in the following weeks. They will be your contact to House Harkonnen and report directly to me. I look forward to working with you, General.
Much obliged. And I'm sure you'll work hard for that trust. And this is kind of where I bring up my power stance. Even though he is above me, I'll give him that glare.
You just kind of put your hands on your hips and thrust your chin out. And...
Yeah, in a much cooler way, but yes.
Yeah, he's definitely impressed with you, as is much of the Imperium, to say the least, for what you managed to accomplish. You repelled an invasion of colossal, proportions and saved billions in the process. So it's not a small thing. So yeah, he definitely wants your presence by his side to a military capacity. It sounds like the Baron Vladimir Harkonnen appears to be putting plans into plans. Hyder clears his throat and steps forward. The Baron is finished in his meeting with you. Right this way, please. I will show you to your quarters should you wish to stay. He gives Yeva the creepy eyes, and Yeva's just like, we will suffice to be escorted back to our shuttle, thank you. We'll be leaving the same way we came.
We will leave.
The Baron raises a toast as you leave.
And I'm actually
stepping over the bodies as you do.
I'm going to do the same.
Excellent. You can now go ahead and put down a trait on your character sheet for House Librius.
Okay.
Friendly to the Harkonnens.
Oh my god, that was intense.
And now we shall go back to Arrakis, to our current debacle. Let's see here. It's hot now, as the day has worn on. The Zashir, you and the other Fremen, have taken the ornithopter down to a particular place on the shield wall and abandoned it as part of your plan. What's her name? Purdy, is doing what she can to keep an eye on Massum, while the other Fremen surround and form like a cordon around Daphne, are always armed. If you had any assets on you before Daphne, like a personal shield or like a poison dagger or whatever, they've already secured it. That also includes Massum, who typically is almost always armed in some way. These are the Fremen. This is your first real encounter with them, and it's been at knife and gunpoint. They take you along, and they seem to be picking their way through and taking somewhat of a circuitous route to wherever it is that they're going. You suspect it's some sort of a hideout or sietch, as they've been called here on Arrakis. Massum is just sort of like keeping his arms where they can see him, and just walking very deliberately doing as they do. Zoshir, you take point and you start taking them around to the sietch itself, to the sietch proper. Is there anything that you do in particular, as the journey there will probably take you the rest of the day on foot?
Make sure that they're well, because, a dead hostage is no good as a hostage.
Of course, okay.
So make sure they're fed and water, yeah.
Okay.
And mostly I'm going to allow for silence. Not just to see what they give away.
Okay.
When words aren't spoken.
You're being studied, Daphne, that much is for certain. But your Bene Gesserit training kicks in. You're in crisis mode now. And you can feel every iota of your body, and you feel completely in control of that portion of your body. You are managing your emotions as well as anyone else can possibly hope to do in such circumstances. Some of the Fremen are kind of impressed when they look and they see that you're not freaking out or anything like that. Unless you want to give that appearance, of course.
No, Daphne wants to retain as much of her dignity as possible. As they study her, she studies them back, and probably figures out pretty quickly that they have no plans to kill her. And then her next thought is, okay, they've kidnapped the head of a major house. That took guts. What the fuck are they hoping to get out of this? But this is also a very dangerous situation, so at some point she will try and make eye contact with Massum and just blink out. The important thing is to survive.
Yeah, he acknowledges this with a glance of his own, and he just kind of keeps his hands at his side and he's keeping his options open. He's maintaining situational awareness. I need a Zoshir, however, to give me a discipline roll for observation. Hurdy will be assisting you in this, because now that the alarms have gone up, there are ornithopters in the air. Let's see here. Discipline with observation. This is a duty thing. Oh, if it's there, I will see it. She's going to use her truth. Makes sense for her. 1 dice. Focus. Yes. She is not able to assist you. See, because she's one of your characters, we can purchase that complication that I just rolled for her. However, it will cost you 2 threat to do so.
See what you do with threat, though. Quick question, though. Does subtle step contribute to anything, even though we're in a group, or is it merely individual?
Subtle step is actually, I think, supposed to be for group. Click on the side for your talent. I think subtle step was to assist in stealthy movement with an asset, I think.
Yeah, that's you're getting ahead of me on that one with subtle step. First, I need the discipline check for observation because they're trying to be quiet about this. They're trying to find you, and it's you basically noticing them first.
2
This
successes.
is your land, so 2 successes. Okay, so you're not going to purchase the threat, so there is a complication, but you get 2 successes. I need key. Take control of Tiberius. Aaron, take control of Amira. They should be available to you in the character journal. Working together, one of you is going to be the lead roller on this to roll a discipline check to notice them. Now I need Zoshir, I need you to make a movement roll to conceal your location from the ornithopters that are in the air trying to find you. Because remember, you had to land the ornithopter first and then get out on foot. Let's see.
Roll 3d20 because subtle step gives you the first d20 free.
I think
Okay.
Tiberius should probably be the lead on this one because he has observation as a focus.
I was about to say also, like, Amir is under orders to not be overt unless she has
right.
to.
That's right.
So
That is
yeah,
correct.
yeah.
To use my focus.
Tiberius for should be the lead for sure.
What?
Well, now you can attempt to move, test, sneak, or otherwise pass unseen. When you attempt to do so, the first extra d20 you purchase for free. Did you purchase one of those 3 dice rolls for free using the subtle step?
Yes.
Ambrose? Oh, okay. Just want to make sure.
I did.
Very good. So you also get a complication. Would you like to buy one off with 2 threat?
I don't know. It's not a failure. It's just a complication.
3 successes so far to hide yourself. So you're setting the difficulty right now for Tiberius to be able to notice you. Tiberius rolls with an additional d20. We're just going to say for free because there are multiple ornithopters in the air and they're all converging on that location. So go ahead and roll, Key, and let me know what you got.
Alrighty.
He has observation as a focus, which is very good.
Oh no.
1 success.
Oh no. Okay. So, because you're all on the same team, so to speak, you are free to use momentum and such. But yeah, you do not like your Tiberius is up in the air and the ornithopters are swarming all over the area, and then you find the downed ornithopter on the side of the shield wall, but there's no trace of any of the Fremen nearby. It's like they disappeared into the woodwork. And you realize now if you're going to have to pursue these people that have the head of your house hostage, you're going to have to abandon the ornithopters as well and go out on foot. But you're in their territory now. It means you are at a disadvantage. Did you want to take that track or do something else instead?
So, a bold move here.
Mm-hmm.
Ordinarily, Tiberius was told by Pardo that he should report back whenever things like this happen, but after the encounter in the dining hall and breakfast, Tiberius is going a little rogue and is just going on foot.
Okay, so Tiberius is like, take the thopters down over there and create a cordon around the area. We're gonna search underneath every rock. And you see the soldiers look at you, like, but sir, Marshal Reed said to report back immediately. And you cut him off. You're like, just do as I say.
Is Marshal Reed here? No.
Yes sir, of course sir. Ornithopters go down. They get out, the troopers get out with Molo rifles and such at the ready, and they start forming like a perimeter for you. So Sheer, you and the rest of the Fremen are down in a ways, well away from this group over here that's scrounging. They're picking up on your tail, but they're doing so very, very slowly. Now I need you to make a secondary discipline roll, Tiberius, to see if you can pick up their trail. Difficulty is increased by 1, so we're going to say a minimum of 3 to pick up their trail. Zushir, you and the other Fremen make your way down through the rocky outcroppings along the edge of the shield wall until finally you reach a top of this peak, and you are able to see out with the oil lens binoculars to the sietch for keep forgetting the name. 1 second. I lost it. 1 second. Simpo Pions. You see the outcropping for it as you remember from before. So you take this is like towards the end of the day as it's getting dark and you're taking a moment to rest. It's a quiet scene around, but it's not a fireplace or anything like that. You're under the shade as a rock outcropping kind of juts out of the shield wall and provides shade for you all. And you're kind of like huddled up nearby. The Fremen don't speak much. They only sort of make eye contact with you, Zoshir, and they kind of like whisper to your side and stuff, so outside of the earshot of the prisoners. Daphne, you're free to make a discipline check to see if you can listen in. You can use your prana bindu hyper awareness to do it.
Absolutely.
Oh, what's happening?
The roll. Poor Tiberius.
Tiberius has some bad rolls.
Tiberius is having a bad day.
He really is.
Forgot to turn off the opacity on his end so he can't see through his visor.
Oh, I'm not having a great time either because I rolled a 20 and one success.
Shit.
It's discipline, so you get to re-roll the 20 because you have prana bindu.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for
absolutely
reminding me.
Yes. Massum will roll. Also.
Oh, that's a 9.
Oh shit. So you got 2 successes, it sounds like. Okay.
Yes.
1 second. Where is Massum? Massum. I'm gonna roll this right here. Okay. He assists you. You get 3 successes. You pretend to not overhear what they're saying, but the short one, the dwarf, goes over to Zoshir, Hurdy, and she's like, "The siege is in sight. Should we go ahead and take them in with and blindfold them before we take them in?"
Yes, absolutely.
Or should we drug them before we take them in? It might be more bit difficult to move them, but at least that way they're unconscious. There's no chance of them knowing our location.
I don't think that's necessary. Did you not hear what she said about the child?
We're not harming them.
No, but if he has an adverse reaction...
Oh, yes, I forgot. Good point. He says, it's like, all right, put this on, she says, and she takes like her scarf and throws it at you to like blindfold you, and then they're going to lead you down this rocky sort of crevasse into where presumably they're going to take you and hold you hostage. Massum throws you a glance before he puts his on Daphne that says they have drugs on them that we may be able to use against them. They have drugs, we can use them. It's kind of the short speech.
I'll nod.
Reverend Mother Norma. It is getting dark outside the sietch. You easily find it, though. You know what to look for. You know the signs. There are a couple of Fremen out front, waiting. They're seemingly waiting for someone. But they're not waiting for you, and they're armed. What do you want? They haven't seen you yet, but you suspect it's only a matter of time. Or if they haven't, or if they know of your position, they haven't telegraphed that they know of your presence currently. How would you like to proceed?
Did these Fremen also have other people with them?
There's like a contingent of about 3 or 4, all of them armed, you know. Mala pistols and the like.
I will do a very Bene Gesserit thing where I will just walk quietly up to them and wait for them to notice me as I'm standing right there.
You're going in full like Bene Gesserit
They know
funeral garb.
They know Bene Gesserits are on their side, and I'm just going to be there and have that mysterious appear out of nowhere Batman.
I'll give you that. Being who you are, you just sort of appear when they're not looking, and then all of a sudden you're there, and they're like, they immediately draw weapons and get into ready positions, and then, like, when they realize who it is that they're dealing with, they're like, they say something in the old speech, the old Zenzuni language. You can use other memory here to provide a response and get your automatic successes.
I basically will be telling them, I am here to greet your Sayadina.
You know the Sayadina?
I know of the Sayadina as all of us would know of her.
You speak to them in a language that most outsiders don't know. You have to delve deep into other memory to procure that information, but when you present it to them, they're kind of surprised, and they're like, Sayadina, yes, of course. Reverend Mother. They motion to the openings of the sietch. We are awaiting others that are en route now. Please forgive the extra security, they say. They bring you inside. There's twisting corridors that spread out throughout the confines of the sietch, glow globes that line the walls, and inclines that go up and go down adversely to different chambers, different areas of the sietch where they're making steel suit productions or weaving spice fibers for clothing and such. The smells assail you as you walk through, until eventually they tell you to wait in this chamber. You're left waiting for a moment, and there's like a curtain of beads that separate you from the other chambers, and you can tell that they're watching you from behind that curtain with weapons at the ready, just because like you just came out of nowhere and you asked to speak to the Sayadina, so they're a little hesitant, but they ask for your name before they leave the room. Like, who should we tell them is calling?
Reverend Mother Norma.
Very well. They leave and they come back in, and in comes this woman who is very unmistakably a Reverend Mother herself. She has taken the role of a Sayadina among the Fremen. You suspect to hide out from Wallach Ix. She makes eye contact with you, and it's almost immediate. She's reading you. How do you want to appear to this Bene Gesserit, Reverend Mother? And remember who it is who you're dealing with here. Someone with has the same powers as you do.
And this is likely, to my knowledge, since she is actually Reverend Mother, one of the ones I might be searching for, correct?
Yes. Mother Superior wants them found. The only thing that she told you to do is to find them and report back. Find them, identify them, and report back to her as to where they are. You suspect because she's on the warpath. She's going to go after these Reverend Mothers to purge them from the sisterhood.
Greetings, sister.
She doesn't respond to that. There are other Fremen in the room right now with weapons, but they're not pointing it at you.
That would, of course, be spoken as the quiet, not actually showing everyone else sister.
Right. She's like, what brings you here, Reverend Mother Norma?
I'm on a mission. from Mother Superior.
Her hands
I
go behind
wonder-
her back when you say that.
I wonder.
And what is that mission that you came to achieve?
I wonder if I should even act on this mission.
You
What do
doubt
you
your
think?
edict from the Mother Superior? She gives a glance over to the Fremen to her left and to her right. Are you bluffing this Reverend Mother?
No, because I'm actually not fully on her side. Remember, I already committed heresy.
Just had to be sure.
Wondering whether or not I should act upon this. With so many other things I have in mind to do on this
She cuts you
planet.
off. She's like, I know who you are. So drop your charade. You act on the right hand of the Mother Superior herself. We know of you, Norma. We've heard your name. What is it that you came here to do?
I came here to gather allies on a planet that will soon be even more the center of the universe than it already is.
You're looking for an ally? For whom?
Why would I not look for allies when I have our path in sight?
She's trying to parse your language a little bit.
I'm
You're
trying to say I have a possible final end to the breeding program in sight.
Oh, you're dropping those clues.
I'm dropping those clues.
She picks up on them, and she's just like, in a roundabout way, she's asking you, "Are you sure about that?" Well, basically, like, she asks you, like, "Are you certain you know what it is that you're talking about here?" Because the prospects that I was told about have nothing to do with this planet. Not yet.
They are here now.
The shortening of the way is on Arrakis.
The shortening of the way is here, alive now.
And this is not the reason you were sent here?
If I were to do as I was tasked, even.
You are
The way
asking a
is a
great deal,
long
Reverend Mother
way.
Norma.
Is it
And this is
really
a very dangerous time for our order. I need you to make a communication test, please.
All right.
Because she does not trust you right off the bat. She knows who your boss is.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Has
This
to wait 5 minutes.
This isn't even deceit, so I can't even
4.
use it.
Or difficulty.
Or difficulty? Man.
Yes, ma'am.
Like I said, this isn't even deceit, so I can't even use any of my
No,
normal
but she does. That's not. Yeah, that's neither here nor there. She doesn't trust anybody right now who claims to be sent by Mother Superior. You made the mistake of telling her your real name, and she's like, "Oh,
Oh yes, no, that
you're
was
one
part
of
of the plan.
those."
The reason why I'm telling her this is because I'm also going to include in this the fact that if I were to continue with her orders, the shortening of the way is longer than it should. I wish to see this in our lifetime.
You want to see this through, yeah. That's a big claim, though, to be throwing out there, but that's fine.
Alright, well, I have no actual way except for getting ones to make that. So, does anyone mind if I spend 3 momentum?
Spend a memento.
I think we only have one
What
left
could go wrong?
because Archibald.
No, Remember, he blew up the roll. I see 4 dots.
Yeah.
I did.
Carry on.
Okay, so nobody minds?
I don't think that's a problem.
Okay.
Get her done.
Focus. Terrible roll all the way through and
Wow.
through. 4 dice.
You
1
rolled a
success.
complication in this situation. Would you like to purchase it with threat?
Why not?
Okay, no complication this time, but she doesn't trust you outright.
That's fair
And-
enough. She doesn't have to trust me. She will soon.
And she's like, we already know we are living in the time of the Mahdi because the shortening of the way, as you said, is already here, but it is not who you think it is. And you're like, wait, what? Just then, sounds of another group of people entering the sietch arrive, and her attention is diverted for a moment. See who that is? She says, almost like she's giving orders. A couple of Fremen scamper off, and they see 2 non-Fremen being brought into the sietch with blindfolds over their eyes. Bring them in here, they say. Norma, you are alarmed to see Zoshir and Daphne. Daphne and Massum being brought before you with blindfolds on and weapons pressed into their backs. Just then, the blindfolds are ripped off, and you are met face to face with Norma and this other Sayadina, who is very clearly a Reverend Mother by the way that, by her poise and her bearing, you know. And she's like, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I will make whatever roll necessary to not recognize Norma, to not look like I recognize her.
Oh shit, that is a discipline roll right there.
Okay.
This will be pretty easy, I think. Obviously, the Sayadina is going to be studying you as you make this roll. However,
All
she's
right.
not going to roll that many, but she will. She has a name. She's a named character, so she'll roll 2 dice.
I'm going to use justice
She got-
because I must shield those in my care.
Just roll once.
Would either observe or infiltration apply?
No, I don't think
Okay.
so. Observer or infiltrator, no. Body control would, though.
Oh, I believe I have that.
Excellent.
Yeah, I've got the Prana Bindu.
Go ahead. Excellent. You just have to
Okay.
beat a 1. You did not roll particularly well this time.
Ah, okay, 1. 1 success.
Oh, you just made it. Okay, so you have
Also-
to stop yourself from just like looking and going, "What the fuck, Norma?" And
It's
then you're just like, "Oh
discipline.
shit."
You can re-roll.
Oh yeah, you could re-roll the 0 because of the front of Bindu. Yeah,
15.
Eh, not much better, but you still made it. So you don't give yourself away to the Sayadina. And Massum is just like perfect as far as that's concerned. And you see her, she's like, "Who are these 2?" She says to Zoshir, "Are these the ones?"
He studies them for a second. These are House Cheshire.
I see. You succeeded. Good. Now then, Daphne Cheshire, you will tell us what you did with the spice bribe immediately, or the consequences for you and your family will be dire indeed. And that's where we'll stop for tonight. Right. All right. I hope everybody enjoyed the session this week. I hope you all watching at home also enjoyed the show. We'll continue our adventures into the Imperium next Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's reintroduce everybody, beginning with Aaron. Let the good people know who you are, where they can find you online, and who you played this evening.
Hello, everyone. Once again, I am Aaron. You can find me pretty much everywhere as Breakatulu. You can next see this face Thursday over at my partner Dre LaFay's channel playing Grounded with our friend Kaizad. Tonight I played Eloise Cheshire, the very obviously only loyal to the guild, wink, black sheep of the family.
Very nice. Leo.
Oh, Eric, you put me through that mental torture. Holy fucking hell, man. That was nuts.
You're
I'm gonna be
welcome.
honest with
Happy
you.
birthday.
Yeah. But anyways, my name is Leo, and the next time you can find me is going to be tomorrow playing some Halo. I do have some projects in the works for the future as well in terms of tabletop RPGs, so look forward to that. But yeah, I played Archibald today, and I'm just saying the Baron makes a very good fucking point about me saving a planet.
Don't believe the poison he's pouring into your
Give
ear.
me more.
I'm a
Oh,
prisoner.
Don't worry, Eloise has something she's been waiting 12 years to give to Archibald, so.
Oh, nice. Devin.
I have been the most honest person in this party, Reverend Mother Norma. And you can find me next week here for this game because it's amazing.
Key.
Hello, I've been Pardo Reed. I'm also Kisama. You can find me on Twitter at TrueKisama and behind a Denny's near you.
If you're a vampire, I want you to change me.
Excellent. Ambrose.
Oh, hey everybody. I've been Zoshir Tamer for you this evening, and I have committed the kidnappings. You can find me continuing this kidnapping on this awesome and horrible cliffhanger next week. And you can find me all over the internet at Sam Changeling, and you can find me on Etsy at Thornkind. So see you next time. And happy birthday, Leo.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's my birthday.
For like the 4th time today, I think.
Yeah, that's okay.
And
I
of
don't get a
course,
lot of
last
happy
but not
birthdays on my
least,
birthday.
Rachel.
Oh, happy birthday, Leo. I have been Lady Daphne Cheshire, currently Fremen prisoner, and it's great because Norma's like the shortening of the way. It's not who you think it is. Like, yeah, it's that kid right there. God, I can't wait for next week. It's gonna be amazing. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram as Stolen Fires, and you can sometimes find me on this channel, playing a little bit of Dragon Age. And you will soon find me playing even more Dragon Age as I run, probably starting later on in the month, maybe early November, Victory, Vigilance, and Sacrifice, a Dragon Age tabletop game about the Fourth Blight. Should be a lot of fun. We might also be running a Curse of Strahd variant. She is the Ancient. Follow the Discord or my Twitter for more news on that.
Awesome. All right. And I've been Eric, aka at Maron Recluse Online. You can find me back here Friday night for this. Very special and personal thanks to Rachel for graciously allowing us to use her channel to stream the game. And a big thanks, as always, to our viewers and fans for tuning in. As always, never sit with your back to the wall. Always remember your shield emitter and be careful who you trust. For in the game of houses, nothing is truly as it seems. Good night, everyone.